everyone, this is Megan and
this is Mark,
my hubby, and he is in here tonight with me, and I'm doing a video that I promised for a while, showing you how I pour my molds. So I'm just gonna get right into it. This is the silicone that I use, and let me tip you back here. It's Smooth On Mold Max 27T, and it comes in this big bucket. And that's the silicone. And here is part B in this little jar. And if anybody decides that they want to buy this, they need to make sure that they have tools to get the lid off, because I couldn't get it off myself. So you're going to need a scale, because this is by weight. You're going to need some type of jar, and this silicone is a silicone that you need to use with a vacuum chamber. If anybody is looking for a silicone that they don't need to use a vacuum chamber with, if you check out my blog at thejeweleddlizard.com, I'll have information in there about where you can buy that and what type to buy. So let's see what else. Need something to mix it up with. I just have this old spatula and of course something to put it in. And because we need to vacuum the bubbles out, you need to only fill it up halfway, because the bubbles will rise up and almost overflow it. You will of course need what you're going to mold, and I've already prepared these. This is some Eiffel Tower charms, and I've got some flowers, and I think that's it. So let me just go right to it. So you want to put your container on it, and you want to zero out your scale. And this gets messy. So I'm going to try to do this around my phone, I think. Super, super thick stuff. This container I bought, I think, was 9 pounds. And $80, I think. 80 something. Okay, I'm gonna have to... down to the bottom, I'm gonna have to scrape out the rest. There is 668 or thereabout grams. Now, you'll need 670. So you'll need 67 grams of the blue bottle, because it is a 10-to-1 mixture. So I've got a cup. I'm going to zero that out. And I prefer to pour in the little cup first. I can control a little more. 60. 65. There's probably going to be a little extra. A little good for good measure. Okay. With this stuff, you want to, of course, read the directions on whatever mold material you buy, but this 27T smooth-on stuff, the Mold Max, it requires you to stir this mix thoroughly before you pour it into the silicone. Okay, we're just going to pour it in here. And I could have, because we're at the bottom of our container, I could have done it in the yellow bucket, but I have no idea how much that yellow bucket weighs. So we couldn't do that because I needed to know exactly how much silicone we were using. So right now what I'm going to do is have my husband mix this up for me, because that stuff is thick and he's a better mixer.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have him mix it up and I'll be right back. Okay, it is pretty much stirred. You can see all the bubbles in it. What we're going to do now is I'm going to pause this, and I know you guys don't want to sit and watch the vacuum chamber again, so we're going to put it in the vacuum chamber and get all the bubbles out of it, and I will come right back. I hope you can see all the bubbles, because there's a lot there. So, okay, everyone, I'm back, and actually we're back, and here it is now. It overflowed just a wee bit. It is a messy process, but this process is going to be the same whether you're using non-vacuum chambered silicone or not, from here on out, basically. But a trick is, I've got a few bubbles still left on top, and it helps to use canned air, break the surface tension of the silicone. So anyway, let me get some wet wipes together here. So the first one I'm going to do is this one. It's a clip container, and it's filled with cameos. And what you would just want to do is to pour. Normally I'd go a little higher, but I'm trying to do my best to keep this in the screen. You want to go to an empty, low spot and pour as thin of a thing of silicone as you can. And you just want to let the silicone kind of work its way out to the other pieces. And it'll level, it's just like with resin, it'll level itself off. And we waited just a little bit long, and it's a little thicker than I would like. So that was probably way too thick of a pour there, but it's starting to thicken up. Then I don't want to lose it. Okay, I'm going to pull back because I think that will probably be enough. The cameos aren't very thick. And it helps if you give it some good see right there, it's filling itself in. And this is a semi-translucent silicone, so we should still be able to see just a tiny bit shadow. So there's that one. And let's see what I want to do next. I've got these flowers. Now, if you don't buy a vacuum chambered silicone, definitely go in a thinner stream. I can plainly see that there's no bubbles in this, so I'm not as worried. There's lots of videos that you can see this with on YouTube. See if that's enough. A little bit more movement over there. And this silicone takes probably a nice 8 hours to get to the point where you could take it out of the plastic, but I would not use it for 24 hours. Give it sufficient time to really set up. And this is one of the more stronger silicones. I think I'll do this one next. This is a bunch of flowers. This Tupperware container has been through quite a few molds. And this one's going to be a harder pour because there's part of a lid still on it, so. Maxie. Dog's getting into mischief. sure there's a right way to be doing this, but this is the way I've done it, and it seems to work out, so. Just got a little bit back there. I'm trying to decide whether I have enough left to do this larger one. I knew I was going to run out before I had filled all my molds. But I would rather have this than the Eiffel Towers, so. This is probably going to take what I have left. Or maybe not. Might be just enough. And just a tiny little bit right there. And it's really starting to thicken. So. Okay, I do have enough. I think, yeah. It's the last one. I've got a really, really big one I want to mold, but no way do I have enough for that one. So. And we buy, or have bought, or ruined, and just thrown away, all the buckets that we've mixed the silicone in. It's just too messy. And you would not want to put this stuff down your drain. It would clog it up so fast. So we've kind of just went to using thrift store buckets or random extras that we don't need. And that's pretty much the end of it. I'll just set these aside. I actually put my fan on the table to vibrate the table a little bit. And it helps if there's any trapped air at all. And tomorrow I'll have 5 brand new molds. So anyway, not super duper interesting, but I know you guys wanted to see how I pour it. Nothing life-shattering, but anyway, hope that helps someone. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Bye.